This area here, we've got the Latin manuscripts. We've got examples of these small pocket Bibles that were used in universities and produced in Paris and other university cities. These were actually mass-produced. These are the first mass-produced books. Something like this took a few months. You would have a lector reading at the front, and you would have a bunch of people. I always imagine, okay, it's a university, so they're grad students, and they're trying to earn their keep as students.
Making these texts.
Making these texts. And as the lector reads, they're writing it down.
It's unbelievably beautiful, and this tiny little writing.
It was written by somebody who was younger, with good eyes.
Yeah.
And,
So this is amazing. Here we have a Gutenberg Bible, a Bible printed on the press of Johann Gutenberg. This is a 4th edition printing from the early 1460s. It's a beautiful copy. It's a 2-volume printing. This volume is printed on parchment, so it's a very deluxe copy as opposed to something printed on paper. And of course, this is the book that changed everything.
The Gutenberg Bible is a watershed moment in history. For the first time, somebody printed a Bible using a mechanical device. Here we are in front of a model of the Gutenberg press, which revolutionized the manufacture of books in Western Europe. It had certain advantages over earlier iterations of printing elsewhere in the world, in that the type was movable, and so when you printed, you literally set up the page a line at a time, letter by letter. It takes a long time to set up one page, but once that page is set up, you can print hundreds of copies of it. So what Gutenberg did was he took an existing idea and increased the speed of production, which leads to the increase of books, it leads to an increase of literacy, and it helps create the modern world in which we live.
Gutenberg could produce about 60 Bibles in the time it took a scribe to produce one. Every step in the process is a different skill. So the printing is one process. The binding is a separate skill. So it would go to someone else for binding. And so when you have Gutenberg Bibles, they don't have identical bindings because those would have been done separately. And then even the decorations are custom. So yeah, while it's a step forward, it's still a very bespoke, custom process.
Gutenberg didn't make any money on it. He went bankrupt. And his partners, Fust and Schuffer, they actually took over his business, got all his equipment, and they continued to make Bibles. And what we see here, we have a complete copy of the Fust and Schuffer Bible. And again, this one, you can really see the gold leaf there, and it's been decorated.
An estimate is that the cost of a Gutenberg Bible in the mid-15th century was about half a year's salary of a banker in Florence. So the Medici Bank, right, the richest bank in the world, half a year's salary to buy a Gutenberg Bible. Mostly, these were bought by benefactors for donation to monasteries or churches. Very few would have ended up in private hands. So that's why many of these copies are so well preserved, because they were purchased and essentially kind of set aside, because they really are, in a way, luxury items. So it's an important step, but it's not yet the step where everybody gets the Bible, where it sort of shapes language, where it shapes thought. That's really what you get with people like Martin Luther in 1522, William Tyndale in 1525. That's when access to the Bible really explodes.
So we've got here Luther's Pentateuch and then a New Testament. These are examples of Luther's translations. One of the themes that we talk about on this floor are the different translations and how people went about translating.